Thank you for your purchase and welcome to the Blast Zone family. When used properly, Blast Zone inflatables are a safe, fun way to play and exercise. Before you set up and use your new Blast Zone inflatable, it's important that you watch the entirety of this instructional video and read all materials included with your product, including any instructional manuals and warning labels printed on your inflatable. We have included this instructional video with your Blast Zone inflatable to supplement your instruction manual and to familiarize you with your Blast Zone inflatable. Here you will see in real time how your inflatable works, how to set it up, and how to properly store and care for it so that it will provide hours upon hours of fun for your family. Additionally, this video is designed to inform you of important safety practices that must be observed in order to safely use your Blast Zone product. Safety is a priority here at Blast Zone. However, since no video or instruction guide is a substitute for common sense, we must caution you that at all times it's crucial to use common sense when using this product. Please retain this video and the instruction manual that was provided with your product for future reference. Additional safety information may be available online at blastzoneBounce.com or via government agencies. Your Blast Zone inflatable is designed for constant airflow. Air is continually forced into the inflatable by the included blower. The air entering your inflatable will escape via thousands of pinholes in seams, as well as via the blower in the form of back pressure. Air leaking from the inflatable is normal and indicates proper function. You may hear air whistling or even notice bubbles forming on the seams of water products as well, which is also normal. Now that you know how your new inflatable works, it's time to learn how to set it up. Safety is important to us at Blast Zone, so please make sure that a responsible adult is always present during both setup and use. Before each and every use, it is important to inspect your inflatable for proper function. This includes making sure all seams are complete and that there are no visible tears, punctures or holes in the inflatable. During this inspection, also make sure the intake on the blower is free of dust and debris. The blower should function without any grinding sounds or burning odours. Before setting up your inflatable product, you must take note of the current and forecasted weather conditions. In general, use common sense with regards to weather and do not use your inflatable in any adverse or extreme weather conditions such as high wind, rain, thunder, lightning, high heat, snow or hail, etc. Do not use the product in winds over 50 miles per hour. For a visual guide to wind speed, refer to the US Weather Service Wind Force Scale in the included operating manual, the National Weather Service or any other source you deem reliable. When choosing a location for your inflatable, choose an area with ample clearance for children to play. The setup area must be soft, level, dry, debris-free and must allow for anchoring of the inflatable. The best area to set up Blast Zone inflatables are typically on soft lawns. In order to keep the inflatable clean and prolong the life of the product, the inflatable may be placed on a tarp. However, if using a tarp under your inflatable, make sure that the tarp does not prevent the inflatable from being securely anchored to the ground. Do not set the product on concrete, asphalt or other such hard surfaces. Unroll your inflatable and configure it on the ground in the direction you intend for final setup. Attach the inflation tube to the blower. As with all electric products, precautions should be observed during use to prevent electric shock. Make sure the blower is in a dry location, away from overspray from sprayers, bodies of water, children and pets, and anchor the blower to the ground using the provided stakes. The blower must be configured so the inflation tube is angled directly into the inflatable bladder. If the blower becomes wet for any reason, discontinue use immediately until the blower is dry. Ensure your electrical source is safe and stable before operating. Plug the blower into the electrical outlet. If possible, the blower should be located in a shady area to prevent overheating. Your blower is equipped with an overheating prevention device. If the internal blower overheat switch is thrown, the blower will typically lose function for a couple of hours while the motor cools. Start the blower using the switch on the device. For their safety, never allow children on or near the inflatable during inflation or deflation. Make sure any deflation tubes are closed. At this point, it is mandatory that you anchor your inflatable into the ground in the proper location. If your inflatable has any water features, attach the hoses to the inflatable and attach a garden hose to the inflatable hose assembly. Gently open the garden valve and allow water to enter the sprayer system at low pressure. Allow the water to run for a few minutes before allowing the children to enter the play area. The weight of the water in the inflatable will help anchor and balance the product for proper use. Limiting water flow saves natural resources. While your blast zone inflatable may have a splash area feature, please note this area is not a pool. Water is not intended to fill this area to the top, and the design allows water to escape through the seams and material. There is no need to attempt to increase water flow in order to fill these areas. Only enough water is required to lubricate the slides. Overuse of water may be taxing to the environment as well as your yard. Congratulations, it's time to play. And here at Blast Zone, safety is our first priority. When proper safety practices are followed, Blast Zone inflatables are a safe source of exercise and joy for young ones. Blast Zone warns you that adult supervision is required at all times when the inflatable is in use. Please make sure that all responsible adults educate users on the proper safety techniques and monitor play at all times. All users must read, be familiar with, and follow precautions on the warning labels printed on the product and in the accompanying owner's manual. Your inflatable must be kept away from heat sources and open flames at all times. Children must be kept away from the blower at all times. The blower is not a toy. Do not insert fingers, toes, or any body parts into the blower, or it may cause personal injury. Never insert foreign objects into the blower, as this can result in damage or personal injury. In the case of blower malfunction or product deflation for any reason, evacuate the play area immediately. Do not use in direct sun in temperatures above 90 degrees Fahrenheit. In certain conditions, material surfaces may become hot to the touch. In these conditions, discontinue use. A wet towel may be effective in temporarily cooling hot surfaces. Sudden gusts of wind may lift the product off the ground, leading to serious injury. At all times, be aware of weather conditions and ensure proper anchoring of your product. Playtime is not a right, it's a privilege. Always use common sense when monitoring play habits. If you see anything that seems inappropriate, intervene immediately. Users with any existing medical condition should consult a physician before using this product. This product is not recommended for users with conditions such as, but not limited to, neck, back or joint injuries, heart problems, asthma, bronchitis, circulatory problems or other ailments. Always follow the size and weight guidelines and safety precautions listed on the product warning label and in the instruction manual included with this product. Users must be well matched for size, so interaction between users is safe and appropriate. Do not let users play together who are unevenly matched in weight and height. Users must remove shoes, jewelry, and any sharp objects before entering the play area. Users must not jump onto or off the product. Users must bounce away from and not into other users and stay away from openings and sidewalls. Eating and smoking is not allowed in the play area. Only one user at a time is allowed on slides. Before sliding, users must make sure slide area is clear of others, and users must not slide down head first or on their stomachs. Users must not stand up on slide platforms. Always avoid rough play. We warn that rough play is dangerous for users and the product. Flips, backflips, somersaults, cartwheels, Pile drivers, wrestling, or any other rough play are not part of the intended use of the product and may lead to serious injury or even death. This product is made for bouncing and all rough play is strictly prohibited. Always make sure your inflatable is clean and dry before storage. In certain climates, even small amounts of moisture can result in mildew, which can destroy materials and cause unsanitary conditions for children. Mold and mildew will cause irreparable damage to your products. Refrain from storing products wet in airtight containers to avoid these issues. To properly dry inflatables with water features, follow these guidelines. Make sure all users have left the play areas. Turn off and detach your sprayer system. Unplug the blower and allow the item to deflate, and any standing water in the splash areas to run out. If possible, shake water out while using proper lifting technique and caution. If the product has become too heavy, attempt to first push water out in its deflated state. Once the standing water is eliminated, re-inflate the product to allow the blower to dry the inflatable from the inside out and any surface moisture to evaporate. Do not allow any users back on the inflatable during this time. During use, some water may have entered the inflatable bladder. You may peer inside the deflation tube to see if any water is inside. If a series of drops and not a substantial amount of standing water are inside, continue to run the blower until it is dry both inside and out. If a more substantial amount of water has entered the interior bladder, tip the product so as to direct the standing water out of the deflation tube while using proper lifting technique and caution. If the product has become too heavy, attempt to first push water out in its deflated state. Always store your product in a cool, dry area. Never leave your product inflated or outside between uses. Long-term exposure to the sun and other elements will destroy your product. Your inflatable may include a storage case designed to fit the product. In order to store the product, fold it into a width of 18 inches to 24 inches and roll it like a tent or sleeping bag. To clean your inflatable, use mild dish soap and water. Never use any harsh chemicals. We here at Blast Zone sincerely appreciate your purchase and hope we have made clear the proper setup and usage techniques for your new inflatable. If you still have questions after watching this video and reading the materials that accompanied your product, please don't hesitate to contact us. Oh, and one last thing, thanks for watching and have a blast!